I want to have a life to be able to live. You know, it's really going to be hard for me to take more hits than I take it. God forbid, get in front of a jury and have a chance. And so I'm having this emergency call because something has to give. I've listened. I've been a superb client, as you said. I jumped on the plane. I'm coming to New York, but I'm just running around waiting for a shoe to drop.
If I didn't say anything, you would interpret it as the hip hop is fine with his behaviors. There's no one else being vocal. So you would look at it and just say, because that mind your business, or let me not say nothing about nothing, or those things, it would allow the entire culture to register as if they're for that behavior.
Look at the outcome.
Hey.
What did I say to you guys? Who can these people run to? You can't go to the boss because the boss is screwing you. Look at Aubrey O'Day. The boss's boss don't care. You could go to the police, all bought and paid for, and even if you get a special prosecutor like Damian Williams, they can just be reassigned to another case. People keep pretending like all of the stuff that they hear about Diddy is something that's new. He's been doing these things.
For years, the rumors moved in whispers, never loud enough to shake the spotlight, but never quiet enough to disappear. People talked about power, about control, about what happened behind closed doors when the cameras stopped flashing. They said he kept receipts because he believed he was untouchable, that lawsuits were just obstacles to outmaneuver and narratives were battles to win, not truths to confront. Now footage surfaces showing strategy sessions about media spin and jury perception, not innocence, and suddenly the legend looks less like confidence and more like calculation. 50 Cent steps forward, framing silence as complicity, backing it with a documentary that mirrors what the streets have repeated for decades. Jaguar Wright doesn't react with shock, only recognition, calling it a pattern instead of a misunderstanding. And as the carefully polished empire begins to fracture under its own recorded moments, the real question isn't whether the rumors went too far, but whether they were warnings that too many people chose to ignore until the evidence became impossible to dismiss.
You've been saying for years that you feel you knew Diddy's character.
Right.
Yet you said you weren't a part of that lifestyle, you weren't going to the parties. So what makes you so absolutely sure that these kinds of allegations that we've seen against him are true?
Well, I'm surprised by the allegations, as surprised as everyone else is. Like, I didn't make the allegations, I didn't tell people to say these things. It comes out, I see it in the news like everyone else, but I did feel uncomfortable with the way you represent the idea of going to these projects.
To come party with me.
Yeah. And then that swayed me away from it, just that alone.
So you didn't realize the...
As much stuff has come, like when I seen today, it was allegations of 3 men that said he drugged them, and it's a long time, to be honest with you. Like, when people don't remember being violated for 20 years, it makes me feel a little hard.
What are your thoughts on the allegations against Jay-Z? That
was interesting. When I was saying things, not knowing exactly what I was saying, but I was going, where's Jay at? He's mad quiet. Like while the Puffy thing was going on. But it's obvious now that his team was being made aware that he was in those allegations also. You know, so I hope it works out, because with his family, the things that go on internally those accusations are crazy.
For years, fans treated seeing Diddy Combs parties like a badge of honor. Getting into the Hamptons White Party meant you'd made it. Rubbing shoulders with him felt iconic, like visiting Graceland or standing in Times Square, flashy, wild, fun. Then 50 Cent publicly distanced himself, hinting the vibe wasn't what it seemed, and suddenly the glow faded. A Netflix doc adds darker context, with claims of escorts flown in, hotel suites transformed, and cameras rolling. When federal raids reportedly uncovered unusual stockpiles, old party jokes stopped feeling harmless. What once looked glamorous now feels a lot more complicated.
I think it was surprising that he actually filmed it.
It was very interesting to watch a man who's known for his brand presence. You know, he has a really amazing knack for marketing and all of that, and how he was sort of taking that into account in how he was coming off to the public.
The exclusive video also shows Combs in Harlem greeting fans.
Lord, you win. Lord, you win. Be with it. I'll accept it.
I need some hand sanitizer. Hold on.
I got it. I've been out in the streets amongst the people. Yeah, I gotta take a bath. Like the amount of people that actually I'm coming in contact with, like that's what I have to do. You know what I'm saying? It's like 150 hugs.
You're a public person as well, and there was one instance in Harlem, and his reaction when those people
Went away.
went
Got in
away.
the car and said, I feel like I need to wash, like I'm dirt. That was, it show you his character.
Was that the reason for including it?
Yeah, I mean, and what's the odds that you would do that in front of the camera?
Then there are the familiar faces from TV who now speak with the gravity of whistleblowers. Aubrey O'Day, the same artist viewers watched on Making the Band grinding through rehearsals and studio sessions, appears on camera reading claims from an affidavit describing an alleged incident involving scene Diddy Combs and heavy intoxication. Hearing that shifts the tone entirely. So when 50 Cent talks about a God complex, about smiling for cameras while allegedly treating people as disposable, it doesn't land like gossip. It lands like context. The once legendary parties start to resemble darker Hollywood cautionary tales, where access blurs into pressure and image hides reality. And for Jaguar Wright, it's not shocking. It's a pattern she says she's been pointing to all along.
The point of him filming this whole thing was because I'm sure that he planned on doing his own documentary. This is an extreme narcissist you're talking about. Extreme. He's sitting there with feds, an eye shot away from his hotel suite, filming his hotel room, and he's looking at them and he's filming them right back. He's literally saying in certain parts, yeah, make sure you're filming all of this because we need to get some, some cutaway shots.
That's wild.
No, he was literally, did nobody pay attention to that?
Oh, I saw.
Like he said, yeah, make sure you're filming all of this. We need this for cutaways. Like you're sitting here collecting footage, like a director, like an AD.
Yeah. What does that say to the cameraman that, can anybody be bought, or can, he said, the cameraman said he recorded all this for Diddy, and then of course Diddy got locked up, so.
Yeah, Diddy got locked up and he didn't get paid. That's you. A lot of people seem to have that experience.
Yeah, I'm telling you.
We need to be able to be speaking to the potential jurors. He said, you might only be the guy that watches CNN, but there's 9 billion people in the world, and 7 billion of them are on Instagram or TikTok. We need to have control of that. He said we need to know how these potential jurors are thinking. That's what he said.
Thanks.
So what does that mean? He hadn't even been arrested yet. He hadn't even been taken into custody yet. Damian Williams hadn't come forward yet with a list of the charges that they were charging him with and what they were taking him to trial for. That didn't happen until December.
Mm-hmm.
So once again, they were losing? Losing what? Losing at what? We need to have control of comms. We need to make sure that we know how the potential jurors are thinking.
Very true.
How does that not sound like anything other than what it is? They were looking to infect the jury pool as early as possible. Look at what happened. Look at the outcome.
Hey.
What did I say to you guys? Who can these people run to? You can't go to the boss because the boss is screwing you. Look at Aubrey O'Day. The boss's boss don't care. You could go to the police, all bought and paid for, and even if you get a special prosecutor like Damian Williams, they can just be reassigned to another case. What happened? Look at the outcome.
Hey.
What did I say to you guys? Who can these people run to? You can't go to the boss because the boss is screwing you. Look at Aubrey O'Day. The boss's boss don't care. You could go to the police, all bought and paid for, and even if you get a special prosecutor like Damian Williams, they can just be reassigned to another case.
In that hotel room, the conversation doesn't sound like a man focused on clearing his name. It sounds like someone racing to control the narrative. Instead of asking how to confront the facts, he's allegedly pressing his lawyer about getting ahead of the headlines before an indictment even lands. The concern isn't just evidence, it's optics, jury pools, public perception. Who gets to frame the story first? Legal analysts often warn that high-profile defendants sometimes blur the line between courtroom defense and media strategy, treating a federal case like a product launch, shaping what potential jurors consume on television and social media long before they ever step into a courtroom. If that's the strategy, the battle isn't just over what happened, but over what people believe happened before a single opening statement is made.
He owned 25% of Bad Boy. When they started Bad Boy, he puts 25 under his name, 75 under his mother's name. Diddy does. So 75% of the company's under his mother's name, 25% is under his name. One day he comes up to him, fully ready to take the sky out, says, you have to sign off the 25% to me. He says, I'm not going to do it. He says, you have to do it. He forces him to sign up and gives away the 25% over to Diddy, okay? Gives away the 25% to Diddy. That's his.
Threatening his life?
He threatens his life, allegedly, to give up the 25%, which he ends up giving up to Diddy. And he says, I'm going to give it back to you. Never gives it back to him. And then later on, when he takes him to court to say, this is my 25%, the court says, no, you have mental issues. You're having challenges here. This is out of control. Boom. Diddy ends up keeping the 25%. Nothing ever happens. He never gets the 25% back. This is the guy that was doing all the...
When she says justice wasn't really served, she's pointing to what she sees as a disconnect between what's allegedly on those tapes and how the case ultimately played out in court. Even with hours of footage reportedly showing panic over lawsuits and intense focus on media strategy, the most serious racketeering-style allegations didn't stick, while other charges did. To her, that gap feels bigger than a legal technicality. It feels like power insulating itself.
First, dropped the bomb that he had been essayed by Diddy. It's Kirk Burrows.
Yeah.
Who has been here since the beginning.
Yeah, he's the founder.
He said people keep pretending like all of the stuff that they hear about Diddy is something that's new. He's been doing these things. He's a witness to offenses that happened over 30 years ago. I believe that he was victimized, and I think it happened long before the industry. People really don't want to look closer into his childhood and to what his mama had going on in that house. God knows what he saw and what happened to him in his own mama house. All of those strangers, them up involved, looking around, seeing what was going on. And let's just be clear, it sounds like her house was a house of, professional freak-offs. So who knows what he saw or what could have happened to him while she was busy entertaining people and pouring and getting tips, as she would say, for her after-hour life.
Oh yeah. He was. I'm gonna say he was surprised to hear that.
School bus driver. No, was he surprised or was he like, zip it, you talking too much? Because that's what it looked like to me. It looked like you talking a little bit too much. They don't need to know about that. While she was sitting there, oh, because I was a bus driver and I was this, and I worked at the after hours. And I would pour them drinks and they would give me big tips.
She did say it just like that. Big tips. You know, in
Big tip and spending cheese.
In Sean's own words, in Diddy's own words, he had said he had a sigh of relief learning that he was the son of a hustler or a gangster. Like he wanted that status. He wanted to say that he was like a sigh of relief is a wild thing to say, that your daddy was a gangster or a hustler, or that's what you heard that he was.
Well, I mean, like Tim said, they had a bunch of blaxploitation movies being played around the house all the time. They grew up with the Mac playing. They grew up with Superfly playing. Like, I mean, if that's what you got going on, you got two women in the house and there's no men around, and these are what the little boys are watching. You got basketball players coming over late at night. You got hustlers coming over, PIMPs coming over, women who look like they were modeling for Jet magazine coming over. Like, it sounds like the nature of the environment is what shaped their perception of what cool was.
He was trying to shape Misa into his mother. Can you see that? Like,
yeah, with the blonde hair and yeah, and all of that. I mean,
really
asked a question: what kind of man puts his hands on his mother? The same kind of man that parties with his mom, the same kind of man who kisses his mom in the mouth, the same kind of man who seems to have accurate knowledge that his elderly mother can put both of her hands, her palms, on the floor and while she's standing up, bent over.
Oh damn, I ain't seen that one. Oh.
You never seen the Instagram video when he was talking about how his mom was still young and spry and how she still liked to party and how they was getting a IV drip?
Oh. Damn.
And she was kissing him in the mouth on the video, and he was like, yeah, my mom can bend over and touch the floor with her palms. It's a very, very, very weird relationship. It's weird.
You know, it kind of goes into, I mean, he seems to be having, and again, I know the freak offs, that his son is there. Like, it seems like he likes to get down with his kids.
Yeah. But that wasn't all. Just the to hear Little Rod say, like, the boys were around. Roger Bonds talked about the children as well. What kind of parenting relationship?
If you really want to understand power, look at the people who helped build it. Kurt Burrows wasn't a random critic. He was there at the birth of Bad Boy Records, with documents showing he held a significant ownership stake. He's publicly claimed that while Diddy Combs became the face of the empire, the corporate structure kept ultimate control consolidated, and that the 25% share he believed he owned eventually disappeared through pressure and paperwork he disputes. Burrows has even alleged intimidation tied to those negotiations, claims that have circulated for years and have been contested in court filings and public statements.
CEO Ted Sarandos knows he's been amassing footage since he was 19 to tell his own story in his own way. It is fundamentally unfair and illegal. That's the thing I'm more interested about, for Netflix to misappropriate that work. Netflix is plainly, plainly desperate to sensationalize every minute of Mr. Combs' life without regard for truth, in order to capitalize on a never-ending media frenzy. If Netflix cared about truth or Mr. Combs' legal rights, it would not be ripping private footage out of context, including conversations with his lawyers that were never intended for public viewing. No rights in that material were ever transferred to Netflix or any third party, the statement continues. It is equally staggering that Netflix handed creative control to Curtis 50 Cent Jackson, a longtime adversary with a personal vendetta who has spent too much time slandering Mr. Combs. Beyond the legal issues, this is a personal breach of trust. Mr. Combs had long respected Ted Sarandos and admired his legacy. Uh-oh, Netflix, you're getting called out by Diddy. What are you gonna do? He has admired the legacy of Sarandos' late father-in-law, Clarence Avant. For Netflix to give his life story to someone who has publicly attacked him for decades feels like an unnecessary and deeply personal affront. At minimum, he expected fairness from people he respected.
I didn't say anything. You would interpret it as the hip hop is fine with his behaviors. There's no one else being vocal. So you would look at it and just say, because that mind your business, or let me not say nothing about nothing, or those things, it would allow the entire culture to register as if they're for that behavior.
When the defense shifts to claims of stolen footage and coordinated hit pieces, it feels thinner if the loudest clips are reportedly his own voice, talking about jury optics, media strategy, and managing people like liabilities instead of addressing harm. If private recordings, former associates, and court filings begin echoing similar themes, the public starts asking a tougher question: how much is context, and how much is character? And once that image lodges itself in cultural memory, it's hard to unsee. Legal outcomes matter, sentences, appeals, records, but reputation lives in a different arena. It's shaped by headlines, testimony, and the way moments get replayed online long after a case closes. In the end, the harder thing to erase might not be what the court decides, but the picture the world feels it's already seen. If you're following this story, stay locked in and keep the conversation thoughtful.